Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so thrilled to be back with you. Today I decided to lean into something that's been gnawing at me for a really long time, and I'm sure you can tell by the title of today's video that it's definitely something a little bit different from what I usually put out here and what I create in this space, but I've really been enjoying, like, binge enjoying commentary content on YouTube. It is my new place of like joy and happiness. And I really just developed this desire as I was watching this content to add my voice to the conversation and to share my insights and also educate, well, edutainment, edutate you. To educate you and really just talk about topics that are trending either right now or 2 months ago, 3 months ago, who cares? Maybe there's certain things that you'd like to hear me touch on. Please always feel free to drop into the comments and let me know, because I want to start creating a little discussion around the topics that I'm going to be covering. Today, as you can tell by the title of this video, we're going to be exploring toxic health and wellness trends and tips and advice that just really I want us to shine a spotlight on, talk about it for a little bit, and hopefully we all can just move on. We're going to be looking at various creators' videos and insights, and I will be adding my commentary and my little 2 cents as a strength coach who's been at this profession for now over 10 years. So before we dive deeper into today's video, I just want to take a moment to let everybody know that I have not selected these pieces of content in order to bash anyone or to drag anyone. Please do not go and find these people and comment on their posts and bother them. Okay, leave people alone. We are doing this purely for entertainment and edutainment purposes only. So that is my disclaimer. Yes, we just needed to get that clear and straighten that out at the way.
Mixing honey with hot water can turn your wellness habit into a toxic ritual. When honey is overheated, it produces a harmful compound called HMF. HMF has been linked to nerve damage, toxicity, and cancer risks in high doses. So people who use honey as a sugar replacement in their warm drinks, according to ancient Indian yogic philosophy, this is absolutely dangerous.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about that, because I literally always pour warm water over my honey, especially now in winter. I have like my honey is in this like bottle that I can like scoop it out of, and it has hardened in there. So I'm like scrape it out, put it into a cup, and I always pour warm water over this. I'm gonna leave a note for editing me to just do a little bit of research on this, a little bit of a Google search, and see what the internet is saying about this, because I'm shooketh. I'm shooketh. Okay, moving right along.
What's the craziest toxic wellness rule you've been told? I reckon it's no added sugar. Like, sometimes you want sugar because you want something sweet, and if you're not putting it in everything, who cares? Me a little bit of sugar in my bolognese sauce. I know, like, this can't do it, but like, it's delicious. Lifting for females make them really bulky. I think
I really love that. Sorry, I had to pause there. I really love that. Not adding sugar to everything. I was telling my coach today, like, listen, I'm having my coffee with sugar at the moment. And he's like, you know what, it's fine for now, but closer to the competition, it's going to be a no-no. If you're new to the channel and don't know this, I'm currently training for my very first bodybuilding competition. It is coming up in September, and I started this journey last October, and it's been quite the ride. So having sugar in your food, I feel like that's like a joy thing. That's like a happiness thing. It just, for me personally, it has to be. I always advise my lifestyle clients to obviously use a honey replacement, but now, considering what we just heard about honey and warm water, I don't know. I don't know. Let's keep it pushing.
Expectation that women should get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and we should get on the Peloton straight away and we should work until 6 o'clock and only eat an acai bowl the whole day and drink 3 liters of water. It's crazy. For me, it
would. I think there is definitely an expectation that social media has created when it comes to what we're consuming and how it looks. Sometimes I find myself, judging my food because I'm like, this doesn't look like beautiful, like the raspberries and the avo and the tomatoes, and it's just like regular degular schmegular food. And I feel like we need to acknowledge the fact that social media has started to slowly distort how we, I think, enjoy certain things in our lives that have always been that way. Now all of a sudden we have a problem with how our food is looking and we're looking for more color, which I'm saying, if your food is not colorful, then you're definitely missing out on the variety of vitamins and minerals that you can get from eating the rainbow. But like, it shouldn't be the goal because you're trying to live up to some expectation that's built up in your head that you're not really aware of. You know what I mean? Okay, so we're going to move on to the next little video here. This one is titled, Why I Think the That Girl Trend is Toxic. Let's see.
Okay, I think that girl trend is extremely toxic, and let me explain why. Now, some can argue that the that girl trend is actually really motivating and it helps people become motivated to wake up early and work out and eat healthy and all this stuff. And to a certain extent, yes, but it can be toxic. First of all, a lot of these things that are shown in these videos are things that people already do, like waking up early. People wake up early all the time. Working out, people literally work out every single day. Drinking green juice or drinking water, like it literally just glorifies normal daily human activities and makes it look so spectacular. You probably are already doing these things, but you just don't have an aesthetic video to capture it. So you're like, oh my god, like I need to be that girl, but like I don't have a trendy video, so yikes, I'm not that girl. Second of all,
I get what she's saying. This is just what I refer to when I say that social media has kind of distorted our expectation of what our reality is supposed to look like. It's supposed to be like this magical aesthetic thing all the time, when it's like, listen, guys, life before social media was very nice. And like, I don't want to say bland. It wasn't bland. It was very colorful. It wasn't like we were living in black and white times, but like, there's just this, there's that distortion. Honestly, there's a bit of a distortion, and we have to acknowledge it. If we're keeping it all the way real, we have to acknowledge that.
I don't know what these people are actually doing. It's so easy to capture a moment and not do it. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I have made videos of me like doing my morning routine, of me like journaling, and I don't actually journal that day. Like, it's so easy to pretend. Social media is so fake.
I love that point that you just made. It's so true. How many, especially, I know I've seen various videos of this on YouTube myself, of like the earlier on fitness influencers who wouldn't actually do their workouts. They would just like record those 5-10 seconds of themselves like doing the specific exercise and just post that, which I'm like, what? That ish never crossed my mind when I first started sharing my fitness journey and I have been sharing fitness online since 2009 on Facebook. There's a page there that has like my complete history of when I started to share myself online, share my health and wellness, share what I was doing. And so I can't even believe that that's a thing. That there was a time where it was just all fake. It was all fake. So I think social media has that tendency to definitely distort how much effort people are putting towards things and stuff like that, and whether or not it's real, rooted in a real reality, or just like, I need to put on this show quickly, snap me doing Pilates. Let's see what else she has to say.
There may have videos of them every single day journaling and drinking water and eating avocado toast or whatever, but like they're actually not doing those things every day. And I think people feel pressured to do these things constantly, and if they don't do these things every single day, they feel like, oh my god, I'm not that girl anymore. But like, are the people that are posting these videos even doing these things every day? Like, who knows?
I love that. I love her point, especially as a fitness coach I am rooted in realness. My clients know this. The way that I train them and the way that I approach coaching them is rooted in reality, and the fact that we are human. Life is going to life. You're going to get sick. You're not going to follow the plan accordingly as much as you want to sometimes, and that's just going to be how it is. And I think social media almost negates the fact that like we actually live in a real world where not everything is perfect all the time. Avocado is not always ripe and ready for you to put on your toast. Do you know what I mean? Like, those are real struggles. So I love the points that she made there. Oh, I'm having so much fun with this, guys. Please let me know in the comments what you're thinking of this video so far. Drop down below. Let me know if you're enjoying this content style and also what your thoughts are on these different things that we're exploring. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with the creators that are sharing these views? Let's keep this conversation going. So now this next video is actually like a stitch of somebody reacting to Gwyneth Paltrow sharing her wellness routine. I think this is going to be very interesting.
What's your wellness routine look like now? I eat dinner early in the evening. I do a nice intermittent fast. I usually eat something about 12. And in the morning, I'll have some things that won't spike my blood sugar, right? So I have coffee, but I really like soup for lunch. I have bone broth for lunch a lot of the days. Try to do
Where's
1
the
hour
vegetable?
of movement. So I'll either take a walk or I'll do Pilates or I'll do my Tracy Anderson. And then I get in the sauna. I dry brush and I get in the sauna. So I do my infrared sauna for 30 minutes. And then for dinner, I try to eat, according to paleo. So lots of vegetables. It's really important for me to support my detox.
Ooh, I love this, how this creator sort of responded to this video, because as you can see on the screen, there are like some things where she's like, not a vibe, not something we should be doing. And intermittent fasting is definitely one of those things. I personally, when it comes to advising clients about this, if you're somebody new coming to me talking about, Emily, I want to start fasting, I always say, girl, let's figure out how our relationship with food is like first before you're just trying to cut out eating a whole meal segment altogether. For some people, some certain clients come to me and they've already been living a fasting lifestyle. So it's not something that I'm going to try and tell them to change, but I'm definitely going to educate them about how, as a woman especially, it is really better for you and in the long term, and your hormones and that whole cycle, for you to have something, especially something with high protein and high fat, first thing in the morning. That is really the best way to set your body up to thrive for the day, energetically, mentally, physically. All of those things, really, they come together beautifully with a breakfast. And it really doesn't have to be that deep. It could be simple. It could be as simple as scrambled eggs and avocado on the side. It could be as simple as a bowl of oats or some granola, homemade granola preferably, with some extra eggs on the side and some fruit. But you want to be giving your body something to start in the day. I could rant about IF for a long time, so I'm gonna leave it there. The next thing she touches on is coffee raises your blood sugar levels, and it is not a breakfast replacement. Gwyneth just said that she fasts till 12 o'clock and then she'll like have something like a coffee. I'm just like, what? How can you have a coffee on an empty stomach? That's absolutely the worst thing you can do as a woman. Make sure that you have some sort of food, especially with fat content in your belly, when you go for your coffee. Then you can enjoy yourself knowing that you are not messing your hormones up in the long run. Because the thing is, with these sort of habits, they might not affect you in the moment now, but in the long term, these things are going to accumulate. The effects are going to accumulate, and then you're going to begin to experience the effects of that and be like, why, what's happening, why are my hormones out of whack? But it's like, girl, what was going on? The next thing she touches on is bone broth. Bone broth should not be consumed as a meal. It's like water. It's like a little glass of juice on the side, because it's just something that adds a little bit of extra nutrients to you. It's not something that's a meal replacement on its own, right? Soup is great, especially if you put a lot of veggies in there, some protein sources, and of course, it's a great source of carbs as well. And then yes to everyday movement. We love Pilates. Pilates is a great low impact type of exercise, which is great for somebody who lives with or struggles with endometriosis or even PCOS, because the higher intensity type stuff can tend to raise or spike your cortisol levels, which then leaves you feeling groggy and tired and really struggling to recover from the workout. So I think that's great. Once you find your thing, I think it's important that you stick to it. So that was a very interesting view. And I think it's so important to even highlight the fact that this is Gwyneth Paltrow saying this, because she has such a big platform as a wellness person in the space. I don't know if you guys know of Goop, but she has this whole website and I'm sure products and the works. And this is the kind of stuff that she's telling people. So, yeah. What do you know it? The next video is actually about intermittent fasting. Let's see what this creator has to say.
If you want to do intermittent fasting, it's between finishing your period all the way until you ovulate, first 2 weeks. A lot of the studies that were done on intermittent fasting were done on men, not on women. So all the success and all the benefits you're seeing and all the science on it, the studies were not done on women. And that's what people need to just understand, like most things. So you really can't gauge, as in, is it good for women? We don't know, because it wasn't done on women. So, and if they did test it on women, they would need to have a controlled one. Yeah, like, is it around your cycle, which probably is not going to be good, versus obviously.
I don't know if you guys know this, but this is one of the number one reasons that a lot of studies have not been done, especially earlier on in the days when scientists were just like figuring things out and stuff. They really were like, we cannot test these women because these women do not have a consistent hormone cycle. It's like day 1, they're here, day 15, they're there, day 20, they're there. So it was very hard to have like a control group almost. So a lot of the studies done to find things out about women were done on men. Things like intermittent fasting, even like your period care and health products. Crazy. Or not even tested at all. Not even tested at all on humans, like tested with like water droplets with like red ink and to see how the pad absorption worked. But it's like, that's not real blood. What is happening? But this is a whole nother thing. Another tangent I could go on because I'm truly passionate. I would say I'm not enraged. I'm passionate about how much potential there is when it comes to feminine healthcare and truly giving women products and getting products in women's hands that are actually good for them. Actually good for them in the long-term use, because we use these products way too often, way too frequently for them not to be good for us. Tangent over. So back to intermittent fasting. She says, we don't know.
For women, men can get away with it. So for men, it depends. It depends on the state of the man's health. I don't think it's just do it, it's amazing. Of course, it depends on the state. If you can handle it and it's something that makes you feel amazing, continue doing what you're doing. If you're doing it for a specific goal of, I want to lose this amount of weight, and then you do, and then you go back, fine. You know, it means to an end, as we said. For women, it's a bit more complicated because of the cycle, because of the hormones. If you want to do intermittent fasting, it's between finishing your period all the way until you ovulate.
Okay, I'm going to pause her there because I'm not too sure about the advice she's sharing, but because I personally would say your body needs food. Your body needs food as a woman. Even right now, I'm currently in a phase where I am doing fasted cardio in the mornings, and that is as I get closer to stepping onto the stage, we need to tweak certain things. I'm on a specific meal plan. I'm on a specific diet. These are things that I naturally would not be doing unless I was training for a specific thing like I am right now. Naturally, in my lifestyle ways, I do not train fasted. I do not eat off of a specific meal plan. I do not weigh my food. I eat very intuitively. So I feel like maybe if you're working towards a specific goal and you're like, okay, I'm trying to lose these next 5 kgs, I'm going to fast for this period, and I'm going to make sure that I'm doing this with a protocol where I'm understanding my hormone cycle and I'm not throwing myself out of whack. More power to you. But chances are, most people who are going to try intermittent fasting are just doing it on a whim, on their own, just trying to figure things out. And that's where things can get just a little bit wonky. Okay, I have about 2-3 more clips that I want us to just have a peek at. This next one is titled Hot Take. The wellness industry is a scam.
Been hearing a lot of people on here say that wellness is toxic and the entire wellness industry is a scam. Some people feel pretty strongly against wellness influencers, as if wellness wasn't already confusing enough with all of the information that's out there. There's so many different diets to follow. Everybody has a different opinion, so people can constantly feel confused, not sure what products they can trust. So I do get that to an extent. And while I don't exactly consider myself a wellness influencer because I am also a certified health coach offering meal plans and I'm not just pushing products, I've helped a lot of clients improve their relationship with food. So those statements do kind of bother me. I feel like we're just confusing people more and deterring them away.
And this is where I think the rise of social media influencers and gym giving, let me not spotlight, and, you know, but I mean like these big activewear brands. I mean, highlighting and spotlighting fitness influencers to be these people that people should be listening to, when a lot of them barely know anything about programming or like they have not done a single personal training course, even something online, just to do something, so a lot of them are just given these platforms and these voices and these opportunities to tell people what to do, and people would just listen and lap it up, because that's just the relationship that's created when we are in these spaces, these parasocial relationships. We start to feel like we can trust these people online, and we're like, oh yes. So I'm very discerning with who my information about health and wellness comes from, and that's why I'm very particular about following doctors. I will follow registered dietitians, nutritionists, physical therapists. I will follow doctors of science or doctors of physical sports science, like people who have studied, people who have eaten the academic books, because that I know these people are invested in actually sharing value and giving accurate information. And most of the time too, you can listen. You can listen and hear and know whether or not you can trust somebody's insight, because if somebody's telling you like this is the end all and be all, that's where I just shut off and I stop listening. Because what do you mean? Just because that thing worked for you does not mean it's going to work for the entire population, all of your followers. So I think it's important to have that discernment as the audience consuming the content, to be like, okay. It's just like skincare advice. Like you can recommend a product to your friend and then she breaks the crap out. And then it's like, oh, well, for me, honey, I'm glowing. So we have to develop a bit more discernment, especially as social media is becoming and going to stay such an integral part of our lives and our daily like happenings. Oh, this next video is, I didn't listen to the full clip yet, but just listening to the beginning, I felt like a lot of us could relate with what she shares. So let's see.
The biggest toxic wellness rule that has affected me quite a lot in the past is that carbs are the enemy. It was like this huge fear from like toxic diet culture telling me that carbs are the enemy, and they're not. I remember this so clearly because you literally didn't eat when we say carbs, obviously there's carbs in vegetables and stuff like that. We're talking about like in terms of your rice or bread, pasta, bread. Yeah. But
these are often the carbs that are demonized, and people are like, death to the pasta, death to the rice. I freaking love rice. I love basmati rice. I will never stop eating rice. Never. Never. But let's keep listening.
With those basic carbs or white carbs, I do clearly remember we'd go out for breakfast, you wouldn't get bread. You'd ask for no bread. You wouldn't eat rice. Couldn't eat rice. And you would say to me, no, I can't eat carbs. They make me tired. They make me so tired. This rule made you believe it was going to do something to you or make you tired or change your appearance, because that's where it started. Yeah, it did start with like your appearance.
Imagine thinking that carbs make you tired. Ooh, that's a little bit sad to hear, because carbs are actually your body's main source of energy. Like the glucose derived from the carbohydrates that you eat is one of the things that produce the energy that charges your brain and your muscles and your internal organ system. Carbs are so important. They are vital.
Then like led you to believe these other things, and then it's like you almost told yourself this lie that you then lived by. And as you said, you had to like ease into it. There's a lot of very, very, very popular fad diets that have made a lot of money off telling people that carbohydrates are bad. Should they make up 100% of your diet? No, because balance is extremely important, right? You have a balanced diet of carbohydrates, protein, and fat. There is a lot in toxic wellness culture that really demonizes something as simple as bread. Cutting out carbohydrates is actually extremely restrictive.
Yeah, extremely restrictive. And if you're trying to make being a healthier version of yourself a part of your lifestyle, there's no way you're going to be able to maintain like restrictions like that. Not eating bread? Are you kidding me? Like I walk past a bakery and I'm turning back for bread. Or I'll make myself pancakes Saturday mornings when I'm craving them because I have the time to, and they're delicious and fluffy and fresh. Like bread is essential. Like I said, it's a joy thing. It's a joy thing like the sugar. You just got to be mindful of how much you're consuming and always, consume with moderation and with love and not self-guilt and, thinking that in the background. But I think it's important that we just kind of let ourselves don't eat all the carbs, but definitely eat the carbs. So we're going to finish today's video off with a little snippet about intuitive eating.
Do you mind sharing what intuitive eating means to you? Intuitive eating is an anti-diet philosophy that helps people get reconnected with their inner wisdom. We're born with it, and we get so disconnected because of diet culture. And it taps into the three parts of the brain: the instinctual part, the emotional part, and the cognitive part. So it's a dynamic interplay of those three parts, which is so important. It's not just instinct, because our emotions can affect our instincts, and then we use the cognitive part of our brain to be able to calm us down, take care of our emotions, and make the best decisions for ourselves.
I love that so much. She really described intuitive eating in a way that it felt warm for me on the inside, because it really comes from a space of knowing where you are emotionally, physically, mentally in that moment, and making your decisions from a place of love and not self-hate, or not trying to do it so that you can guilt yourself later, but really truly tuning into those three parts of yourself: your instinctual, your emotional, and your cognitive. What did she say? Yes, I got that right. Oh, did you guys get that right? Because I was paying attention. I don't know about y'all. So tuning into those three parts makes it feel very holistic, and like the name says, very intuitive, because you're just going off of yourself and what is going to feel nourishing for you in that moment. And honestly, sometimes for you in that moment, what might be nourishing is that Oreo ice cream stick. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. We let ourselves do it and we keep it pushing, because we know that a small little bit of Oreo ice cream is not going to be a detriment for us. If that's what we desire in that moment and this is how we want to love on ourselves, guys, I'm here for it. And especially if you're not training for a bodybuilding competition, honey, eat your ice cream. Eat your ice creams. That brings me to the end of today's video. Please take a moment to let me know in the comments what you thought about this discussion. Add your thoughts, your opinions to the conversation down below. I would love, love, love to hear from you. And if you'd like to connect with me a little bit more and see a little bit of my day-to-day life and my prep as we get closer to show day, make sure that you follow me on Instagram as well as the TikTok. All right, my friends, thank you so much. If you made it to the end of this video, you a real one. I cannot wait to see you in the next one. Bye.